You have to be the reflection of what it is that you want. Because how high will your chances be to meet someone wealthy and you live in the hood? You go to the dive bar. You're shopping at Walmart. You have to put yourself in a position of having a soft life. And I talked about that today. The men who are going to give you the soft life, they're only going to give it to women who are soft. Don't let the DLs give you the DL to Monica. We are magnetic and we attract what we are. If you give Rick Ross hustle, hustle hard, then that's exactly the man that you get. Exactly. That woman that we saw who got engaged by the engagement swindler and who has like 7 goddamn kids, guarantee you she was leading with her business. She was leading with girl boss. She was leading with how much she works, how hard she works, how much she can hustle. So guess what? She gave him the soft life because she's not living the soft life. She is rooted in how hard she can work. You can have a business, you can be hardworking and still give yourself the soft life and still allow people to do things for you. I mean, this woman was literally offering to pick a man up to go drive to Big Bear. Even if he didn't offer to pick you up, I can go drive to Big Bear in my car and you can go drive to Big Bear in your car. But what I'm not going to do is pick a grown man up for us to go drive to my birthday festivities. That's what I'm not going to do. I don't mind driving myself. I would actually prefer to drive myself alone. But what I'm not going to do is pick up some grown ass man to go there. What if you're a girl boss and men ask you what you do? Do you lie? You're just very vague. So when men ask me, oh, what do you do for work? Oh, I work in the medical field. And whenever they try to ask me what I do, I just say it's just involved in imaging. Nothing special. It's just imaging. So they don't know what type of thing that I do. Or you can reduce it down. Depending on the man, I'm a CNA. I'm a CNA. But you also got to realize you have to know what type of man that you're meeting. You have to know what type of man that you're talking to. When I'm talking to someone that is a Dusty, I want him to know that he can't afford me. Because I already know it'll be easier for me to intimidate him and for him to get the fuck away from me. But when it is actually a man that I'm like, oh, okay, I actually do kind of want this man to invest in me in something, I will just be vague. I will just be vague. And I always say you should just try different things with different people. Say different professions to different people or frame it in a different way. Test it out and then see how people respond. This is why I say you should always have a roster if you're going to be dating. The whole point of you having a roster is to, number one, have options. Number two, practice how you're going to play the game. That's why I have the Patreon. I have the Patreon so that way you can have different forms in different ways, different tactics to play the game. And if you have like 5 dudes on a roster, you just play a different type of tactic with every guy. And you just, oh, that tactic worked. That tactic didn't work. A Dusty, I say I'm married and my husband is a surgeon or in finance. LMAO, my ring is at the cleaners. Exactly. Those Dusties get scared fast when they think that you earn a lot of money or you just are married. They don't know what to do then. They're like, oh, I'll find my way out then. I'll see my way out then. Okay, so healing yourself, right? So we're still on number 3 with developing a regulated routine. You need to create a ritual, because they are rituals. You need to create a ritual that will make you feel cared for. I don't care what it is. Okay? If you wake up, if you have children, you wake up 30 minutes before everybody is up and you make yourself a pot of coffee. You make you some good coffee, you sip your coffee, you journal, you listen to some music in your headphones. That's a ritual. You stretching, that's a ritual. Yoga, ritual. Hot bath, ritual. Herbal tea before you go to sleep, ritual. Your skincare routine, ritual. Just one practice where you can either wake up, go to sleep, something that you can look forward to. And it's also going to encourage the betterment of your mental, encourage the betterment of your femininity. So then through doing this, essentially you're training your subconscious. You're training your subconscious to correlate predictability and consistency with safety, because you are creating a routine for yourself and you can understand the emotion that will be the outcome for what it is that you're doing, what routine it is that you're setting for yourself. So like I like to go to the gym before work, because I know when I go to the gym before work, I'm not going to care about really anything that's happening at work. Hey Lola, welcome. I already know when I go to the gym before work, I'm much more carefree at work. I have a much more positive attitude. I go to the gym before I get on here. It's the hard thing for me to do, and I've knocked it out. I have a sense of accomplishment. So you just sticking to something, having one ritual where you can look forward to doing it, or at least if you don't look forward to doing that one thing, you can look forward to how you're going to feel after you're done completing that thing. I will add that when you are doing your regimen or your routine, the most difficult thing, the thing that you don't want to do, but you know that you need to do it, if possible, please make it the first thing that you do. If you don't want to go to the gym should be the first thing that you're doing. If you don't want to journal, journaling should be the first thing that you're doing. And the reason being is because, number one, you just get it out the way, but you have more of a sense of accomplishment and you have a sense of that conquering feeling. Like, if I can conquer this, I can conquer anything. I need to go to the gym before work. It's just so hard to lift weights early in the morning, but I know I can't do it after work because I'll be too tired. Lola's channel is really, really good. It is. It's really, really good. She drops a lot of gems over there. So definitely check Lola out. I like her channel a lot. Okay, so number 4, you redefining productivity around pleasure. Okay, I talked about this over on the other channel. Your sacral chakra, one of the things that activates your sacral chakra is pleasure. I don't mean just physical pleasure. I mean you resting, you playing, you enjoying things. It's hard for you to have a soft life because you have trauma built around resting. A lot of us are conditioned by this because our parents did not allow us to rest. You went to school all week. You did unpaid labor as a child. That's how I look at it. You did unpaid labor as a child. You had to sit in a classroom and be there for 8 hours and listen to someone talk, right? And you had to wake up early too. We had to be at school at like 7:30 in the morning. They were training us for a 9 to 5. On the weekend, you want to sleep in. On the weekend, you want to relax. You had to wake up early, go to school, listen for 7 hours, come home, do homework, do chores. And then you wake up, your parents wake you up at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning, blasting music, vacuum cleaner going, everything loud. So already at a very, very young age, most of us have been conditioned to have a trauma response when it comes to rest, because you weren't allowed to rest growing up. You weren't allowed to be lazy. How can I make myself enjoy and look forward to weight training? I really want to build muscle, but I don't enjoy it at all. Any suggestions? I am a visual person. I really do respond well to the practice of visualization. Put a picture up of how you want to look. Go on Instagram, find how you want to look. Make it as your screensaver, print it out, put it on your refrigerator, put it somewhere in your room. You should have a visual reminder of what it is that you want to look like. It helps significantly. It does. It helps significantly to have a visual reminder of how it is that you want to look. And then also understanding the perks that you get with your longevity when you have muscle. When you have muscle, you're going to have a lower rate of osteoporosis. They say that women that are weightlifting, they tend to have a lower rate of cancer. You're going to have a much higher metabolism. You're not going to be out here all old and saggy. You have to find some source of inspiration on an external and on an internal level. But I really do feel like having some type of media, some type of visual media that you can look at, will help greatly. And then also, sometimes it's also the method in which you try to gain muscle. You going to the gym and lifting weights is really not the only way that you can gain muscle. Pilates actually does give you a lot of lean muscle, especially when you have a strong muscle to mind connection. That's the whole point of Pilates. The whole point of Pilates is for you to, you're not using any heavy weight, but the point of Pilates is for you to have a strong mind muscle connection. So essentially, you could literally do 10 crunches now, and you can make them the hardest crunches of your life if you do it super, super slow and you keep your mind focused on your abdominal muscles the whole entire time. You could make them be the hardest 10 crunches of your life. But if you go through the motions and you're just like, then you're not gonna really activate anything. But I do think visually you should have some type of media that you can look at. I love Pilates Reformer too. I'm happy. I love lifting. I lift 5 days a week. It really has helped my posture and helped keep my skin tight when I drop weight. It's worth it. The cellulite be gone. You have like much more like shape in your clothing. People just look, and then people look at you different. When people could tell that like you lift weights, people look at you different. I went to the health food store this morning and got orange fruits, mandarins, mangoes, papayas, etc. because of your video yesterday. Oh my God, I love that. I literally made my sweet potatoes this morning. I did. I made my sweet potatoes this morning. They turned out chef's kiss. If you all ever want to make sweet potato fries, always remember to cut them up and put them in cold water with ice cubes and let them sit overnight so all the starch comes out of them. And then you can put a little bit of cornstarch on the outside of them. And you can just put oil and some cornstarch, and like they tend to be crispy on the outside and then, like smooth on the inside. But even without the cornstarch, they're really, really good, because I'm not paying $6 for those goddamn Alexia sweet potato fries. Those things are expensive. I remember when those things used to be like $3, like $3.50. Okay. Um, okay, so back what I was saying with number 4 on you redefining your productivity around pleasure. So you what I want you to do to replace when you're a workhorse, when you're hustling, when you're finding purpose in you achieving things and doing things, I want you to replace one habit, one like working habit, one hustle habit, one girl boss habit, however you want to call it. I want you to replace that weekly, a couple times a week, with some type of pleasure practice. You taking a bath, you going for a walk, painting, singing, dancing. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, but you making space for something that you enjoy doing, right? And the thing about it is that if you don't have anything left, or if you don't have anything that you actually enjoy, it's time to get out there and try something, right? You pretty much can get a free trial or a free class or a beginner's consultation with just about everything. Okay. Um, there are things, the childlike like things, they are opening up the sector more and more and more for adults to do it. And I also think a lot of your pleasure, it goes back to the sacral chakra, a lot of your pleasure comes from your inner child. So also thinking what you like doing when you were a child. There are grown men that still have action figures because they liked them as a child. Um, what's wrong with you having Barbies? Honestly, if you liked Barbies growing up, what's wrong with you having Barbies? I mean, there's literally content creators that make money off of having a ton of Barbies and having them act out. That's their inner child. They have found a way to be creative with their inner child. They're using Barbies to reenact movies. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's the collagen, Lola. It's the collagen. You can well, not number one, you can take collagen, but there are peptides that you can kind of take that can help with your elasticity. Why I can't remember them, I don't. But you making sure, sorry, that was off subject, but you doing things that heal your inner child and you not carry any shame around them, because also shame is that's one of the feelings and emotions that will wound. It will be wounding your sacral chakra, is shame, fear, guilt. So there are a lot of people that want to do childlike things, but they don't want to do them because they're afraid.